2017 American Quarter Horse Association Racing Champions Ceremony. Live from Heritage Place in Oklahoma City, here's your host, Chris Katulak.
The 2017 AQHA Racing Champions Ceremony. I am your MC, Chris Katulak. Great to see everybody here. Time to welcome our co-host for this evening, and that is AQHA Chief Racing Officer Janet Van Beber. Janet?
Thank you, Chris. While I hate that Dale Day had a conflicting event tonight, I enjoy the opportunity to get here and interview the award winners.
Worthy substitute for sure, Janet. Welcome for sure. We do have some special guests that we want to recognize this evening. They include AQHA Executive Committee member Butch Wise of El Reno, Oklahoma, AQHA Second Vice President Stan Weaver of Big Sandy, Montana, AQHA First Vice President Jim Hurd of College Station, Texas, AQHA President Ralph Seekins, along with his wife Connie of Fairbanks, Alaska. I'd also like to recognize AQHA Executive Vice President Craig Huffines with us this evening. Also in attendance are Oklahoma Secretary and Commissioner of Agricultural Food and Forestry, Mr. Jim Reese, and Betty Thompson, the Deputy Commissioner of the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry. We're very happy to have one and all here tonight. And just a special welcome to everybody that is here tonight that might not even be in line to receive an award. We appreciate the support that you're showing not only for your colleagues, your friends, but to the AQHA as well. So thank you one and all for coming. Y también bienvenidos. And for our neighbors up in Canada, welcome, eh? All right, so let's get started here. We'd like to explain how the winners of tonight's ceremonies are selected. The champions' ballots for each equine category are determined by a collection of criteria. Some automatically make the ballot based on their earnings or their wins. Others are nominated by a vote onto the ballot by the AQHA Racing Committee. Members of the Champions Selection Subcommittee then meet to review the finalists and cast their ballots to determine each champion. Ballots for breeder, owner, trainer, and jockey of the year consist of the individuals with the best overall placing according to money earned, races won, and performance in graded stakes races. Winners are likewise chosen by the Champions Selection Committee, and the same process has been utilized to determining our contenders for champions for many years. Just a little bit more to read here, and we'll get through the formalities. Subcommittee members are elected by the AQHA Racing Council and Racing Committee, and to ensure fairness, AQHA rules mandate geographic diversity among the subcommittee members. Individual voting results will be made public at the conclusion of tonight's ceremony. In each category tonight, we will present the ballot and announce the winner. A complete list of stats for each contender is available at aqha.com/racing. We want to welcome all of those that are watching this on the live streaming via aqha.com as well. Once again, if you're accepting an award on stage, we'll ask you to come up on stage just as quickly as you hear your name or your horse's name mentioned. Again, that's paramount, that when you hear your name or your horse's name mentioned, please rise up and come to the stage. All right, that said, everybody's got their safety belts buckled, tray tables up, and no kicking the front of the seat there. If you do, we'll sick Butch Wise on you. All right, at this time, I invite AQHA First Vice President Dr. Jim Hurd to the stage for the awards presentations. Dr. Hurd, thank you again for participating. All right, we will begin with the first category. That seems like a logical place to begin. The 2-year-old colt. In alphabetical order, your contenders for the 2-year-old colt champion are A Passion for Flashin', owned by RC Racing LLC, and A Passion for Flashin' did win the New Mexico Cup Futurity. Call Me Cole, owned by Reliance Ranches, qualified to the Golden State Million and was third in the Los Al 2 Million. JLS Dash and Fire of that legendary JLS Speed Horse Ranch in Louisiana, who won the Louisiana bred Laddie's Futurity and second in the Louisiana Million Futurity. KVN Corona, owned by Keith Nellison and a 3-time graded Futurity winner this season. PYC Fun and Fancy, second in the Oklahoma Futurity and won the Lyco Bird and was third in the Heritage Place Futurity. Six's Flash, owned by Jerry Wyndham and winner of the Firecracker Futurity. Starfield, New Mexico bred by MJ Farms and was third in the Rainbow Futurity. TFL Whiskey, owned by Rogelio Marquez Jr., third in the Louisiana Laddie and the Lee Berwick. This is an Eagle, who won the Sam Houston Futurity and was third in the Texas Classic Futurity. And finally, You Drive, I Fly, owned by Richard and Janelle Simon. Kenny Roberts, the trainer, two in this division, trained by Kenny Roberts, and the horse that won the Louisiana Million Futurity. And the 2017 two-year-old colt is KVN Corona. Please come forward there. KVN Corona by Corona Cartel, out of Executive Looks by Executive Menace, bred in Utah by Macaulay Land and Livestock, owned by Keith Nellison, trained by Paul Jones, undefeated in 2017 with 6 wins and 6 starts, earned over $577,000, won the Ed Burke Memorial Futurity, won the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity, and both as a betting favorite. So the betting public loved KVN Corona, and he is voted the champion colt. Congratulations.
Congratulations. The first thing I want to ask you is, tell me about the name of this well-bred colt. The KVN has some sports connections?
Yeah, Kyle Van Noy plays for the New England Patriots right now. My wife and I kind of adopted him when he was playing in BYU, and we usually name our horses kind of, you have to come up with a lot of different names, and we named him KVN Corona, and I guess we'll keep naming him those.
Maybe we'll get him in the racehorse business as well.
He's kind of in it a little bit, yeah.
Very good. Well, this colt had a stellar year. Tell us a little bit about what you enjoyed most about it.
This colt's been just a little pro. I mean, he hasn't never done anything wrong. He's got a good temperament. He does everything right. He goes in the gates, breaks, runs his race. I call him the little pro. He's just a great horse.
Well, congratulations.
KVN Corona, the AQHA 2-year-old champion colt. We move on to the filly division. The nominees for the 2-year-old filly begin with A Political Brook, bred in Texas by Randy and Sandy Coleman, winner of the Grade 1 Southwest Juvenile Championship. Dashin' Under a Full Moon won the Louisiana Lassie, the Grade 1 Lee Berwick, and won the Louisiana Champions Day Juvenile. Fly Baby Fly, bred in Oklahoma by Juliana Hahn Holt, and winner, of course, of the All-American Futurity. I'm a China Rush, a homebred of Sherry Gilmore, bred in Oklahoma, winner of the Oklahoma Futurity. J Fire Up by Kitty Up, won a pair of Grade 1 Futurities at Los Alamitos. Just Another Natural, Texas bred by TC Flack, a homebred of TC Flack, winner of the TQHA Sale Futurity. La Vencedora, the daughter of Ivory James, won the Remington Park Oklahoma bred Futurity. Matilda Check in the green E.G. High Desert Farms Silks, second in the Golden State Million Futurity, winner of 5 of 9 this year. Mooney Blues, a Washington bred and a homebred of Lisa Anderson, won the Wild West Futurity and finished second in the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity. Big jump there. Bred in Texas by Nymeria, who's bred in Texas by Bobby Cox and owned by Alfredo Garza. Horse that won the Heritage Place Futurity and earnings of just under $500,000. And finally, She's a Diamond Diva, owned by Cruz Nava, qualified to the Mardi Gras Futurity and was second in the LQHBA Louisiana Million Futurity. And our 2017 champion 2-year-old filly is J Fire Up. No surprise here what J Fire Up did in 2017, the daughter of Kitty Up. Out of This Boogie Fires by Walk Through Fire, bred in California by Jaime Gomez, owned by Darling Farms. I can hear him on his way up to the stage right now, Dan Darling. Also owned by Jaime Gomez and Ernesto Solis. Jaime Gomez, the trainer. Horse that won 7 of 9 races this year, over $1.4 million. Second in the Ed Burke, won the Governor's Cup Futurity, won the Grade 1 Golden State Futurity, and won the Grade 1 Deuce, the Los Alamitos $2 million Futurity. And Dan Darling without a ball cap on as well.
Congratulations to all the connections. Jaime, I find it interesting that you're a breeder and now part owner of this filly. Tell me how important it is to you to breed a champion. I think he said volumes with his lack of words.
You know what? Yes, I'm so proud of this feeling when, I train few champions. And when you train and raise and bred one, is something really special. It's one of the best moments of my life.
Congratulations, you all.
I was afraid I might have to do my Jaime Gomez impersonation, but it starts with, oh, that son of a good. Jaime took care of me there. All right, next up, the 2-year-old gelding division. The first nominee is a Jordan Reed, bred in Oklahoma by Kendricks Brothers and owned by Kendricks Brothers. The homebred is trained by Ed Hardy, won the Mystic Lake and the Valley Junction at Canterbury. Next up, Big Daddy, a son of Big Daddy Cartel, who won the Zia Futurity and was second in the All-American Futurity. Chance to Fire, owned by the Princess Abigail Kawananakoa. Eagle Jazz is up next. Eagle Jazz by One Dashing Eagle, owned by Juan Medina, won the first 2 legs of the All-American Triple Crown. He's Limitless, owned by Jack Smith Farms, second in the Remington Park Futurity and qualified to the All-American Futurity. Hot Stepper, owned by Hubbard, Southway, Cope, and Rafter W. JRS Taylor's Runaway, a son of Sir Runaway Dash, who won the LQHBA Sale Futurity and was third in the $1 million Louisiana Futurity. Political Attraction, who won the Speed Horse Futurity and won the Black Gold Futurity at 350. The Cartel of Miracle, son of Tough and Good, I should say. He qualified to the Dash for Cash and then won the Texas Classic Futurity. Uptown Dynasty, owned by Melvin Neugebauer, and won the Ruidoso Futurity. He was second in the Rainbow Futurity after winning the Ruidoso Futurity and finished 6th in the All-American Futurity. So all 3 legs of the Triple Crown. The 2017 champion 2-year-old gelding is Eagle Jazz. Eagle Jazz by One Dashing Eagle out of the Tres Seis Mare Baja Jazz, bred in Oklahoma, a homebred of Juan Medina. The most recent trainer is James Paget II. A winner of 7 of 8 races, 2 stakes races, and earnings of just over $900,000. Second in the Remington Futurity, won the Ruidoso Futurity, and then went on to win the Rainbow Futurity. The connections of Eagle Jazz on stage with us now with Dr. Hurd.
Well, we have a prevailing theme this evening of the world champion being named to a owner breeder. So tell us your perspective of how rewarding this is to have raised a champion.
I didn't get that, ma'am.
How rewarding has it been for you to have raised this horse?
Oh, great. As a matter of fact, he's a homebred. We bred him here in Oklahoma, and he's excellent. And as a matter of fact, the Hair Mare, Baja Jazz, we bought her here at the sale.
Very good. Congratulations.
All's well that ends well there. Congratulations to the 2-year-old gelding and the connections Eagle Jazz. All right, we'll move on now to the title of the World Champion Chariot, and that goes to the winning team of the World Chariot Championships conducted each year at the Golden Spike Event Center in Ogden, Utah. Please join me in congratulating the 2017 World Chariot Champions in Gibson and Wright and their team of One Famous Secret and LS Little Sam. There you go. Come on up to the stage here. We also must recognize the driver, Sam Pence, and the multiple stakes winning team, One Famous Secret, owned by Greg Gibson and Stephen Wright, and LS Little Sam, who is also owned by Stephen Wright. The team collectively had wins at Energy Downs, LeBois Park, Sweetwater Downs, Sandy Downs, Jerome, and Emmett before they were teamed up to win big in Ogden.
Congratulations. Tell us a little about your year. It sounds like you made several stops along the way.
It was a very tough year. We had lots of good competitors that we run against, lots of really second career horses. This has been awesome for the second career horses. So just a wonderful year.
Congratulations, and thank you for being here to accept your award.
Congratulations once again. From the chariot races to the hook horses, we'll go to the distance division here, and now we come to the first nominee, and that's B&G Fast Dash, who's bred in Louisiana by the B&G Group Investments. Firethorn, who went gate to wire to win the Herman Jefferson at Zia Park. I'm Mighty Fast, who was in the money in 10 of 13 starts in 2017. Rockabilly by Rock Solid Jess, bred in Texas by Rock and J Running Horses, Bill and Tammy Johnson, and a winner of 5 of 9. Tag You're It by that thoroughbred stallion, Roll Hennessy Roll, who won just a touch below $100,000 this season. And the 2017 AQHA Distance Champion, that's B&G Fast Dash. Of course, the distance had to sit at the far back to take the biggest distance up to the stage. That only makes sense. And there's a little turn in there for you just to make you feel at home. B&G Fast Dash by He's a Fast Dash out of the Regent by Gold, or by the Gold Regent Merida Regent, bred in Louisiana by B&G Investments, owned by Mo Racing and trained by Kenny Roberts. Won 3 of 5, earned over $73,000, and swept 3 consecutive 870 stakes races in Louisiana, all of them in gate-to-wire fashion, and all of them a winning favorite. Congratulations to B&G Fast Dash, the distance champion.
Congratulations. I noticed on the form that you ran in both open and restricted company, and very commendable, and your only defeat was on the outside post position, which we all know is tough in the 870 races. How rewarding is this for you?
I've been at this for a little while, and this is really special for me. And Mary Lynn Thompson couldn't be here tonight. She's my partner on that horse.
Well, that's our shout out for Mary Lynn, and again, congratulations.
Congratulations. Wear that buckle with pride. Moving right along now, we will move to the South America division. Our next award earned the title by winning the Bank of America South America Championship Challenge, and that was Prime Panther. Prime Panther by Panther Mountain out of the Royal Stricken mare She's a Royal Dream, bred in Brazil by Eurico Braga and owned by Eurico Braga and trained by Senor Parexides. Bank of America South America Championship Challenge was worth over $43,000. Felicidades! Congratulations.
Congratulations. I had the pleasure of meeting these gentlemen on my first trip to their racetrack in Brazil this year. And first of all, it's important to say thank you for what you're doing so that the Brazilian standards of racing match ours in the anti-doping. And you have been leaders of your association, and we appreciate that.
We are really happy to be here. For us, it's a great honor. We want to thank you all, and AQHA especially, for recognize our races, and it's really important for us, and it's a big step for industry in Brazil. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Caipirinhas for everyone. Okay, congratulations again for the Brazilian winner there. Moving on to the Mexican division, Racing American Quarter Horses from Mexico are making a bigger impact on the sport every year. This award is limited to those who were bred and raced primarily in Old Mexico. The first nominee is B.R. Chevali South, a progeny of Southern Corona. Divina Jess, who won 3 of 10 and earned over $100,000. Fearless Kid, earner of $91,000. Hippie Dashin' Horse by Seahorse Corona, horse that did win 3 of 7. Noah Tane, winner of 4 of 6 starts and earnings of over $103,000. Puente Villa, a son of Natova's Prince, winner of 4 of 7. Reina de Reinas by La Holaroid, who won 6 of 7 starts this past year. Soliat by Danny Cartel, winner of 5 of 6. Valentino Mystery, owned by Alejandro Badia and trained by Alejandro Arenas Badia. And Z Dancer Arandas, winner of 6 of 9 and earnings of over $77,000. And the 2017 AQHA Mexican champion is Reina de Reinas. Looks like Gus Baracus is going to accept the award. Reina de Reinas by La Holaroid out of the Royal Quick Dash Mare Royal Miss Delta, bred in Mexico by Luis Miguel Gleason, owned by Luis Miguel Gleason. Most recent trainer is Leonino Cruz Garcia. Winner of 6 of 7 and earnings of over $176,000.
Gus, thank you for accepting on behalf of this recipient. Queen of Queens is the translation to her name. What can you tell us anything more about the filly?
Well, the only thing that I know for sure, Luis called me and asked me to accept the award because he could not be here. And he tells me that he bred this filly and campaigned her and raced her, but most of all, he wanted me to mention what a great team he has behind the filly in Mexico. All the thanks from, according to him, belong to the team. It means a lot to him. He hadn't been in the business a long time, but I believe this is his second Mexican champion. He's only, I think he started around 2011, 2012. So he's done great. And another contender later on tonight is our horse that won the All-American Derby this past year. So he's doing well.
Well, congratulations. And if you're watching at home, congratulations to you at home.
And a hell of a deputy in Gus, well-spoken Gus Baracus, representing Reina de Reinas, the Mexico champion. Well, now let's trek to the Great White North. It's time for the AQHA Canadian champion. Much like the Mexico division, these nominees are the top horses who raced primarily in their home nation, that being Canada. First off, Albert by Mr. Just Tex out of Squinch Eyes. Arctic fame, winner of 7 of 9 races last year. Bring on the Wave by Wave Carver, who won 5 of 6. Country's Coming Back, owned by Ralph Pearson and trained by Ralph Pearson. Cruisin' for a Bruisin', a homebred of Barry and Janice Sather and trained by Janice Sather. Ghost Pines by Firefinder and owned by Gary McNichol. Had to Be Ivory by Ivory James, undefeated in 2017. Hickerson by Country Chicks Man. And finally, Honor the Fast Man, bred in Alberta, and hook, line, and sinker there for Tom Kennaway. He's the breeder, the owner, and the trainer. Also, one more, I failed to mention, Make Me Bodacious by Bodacious Jess, who is owned by Rick Crispy. And the 2017 AQHA Champion Racehorse, Canadian Champion Racehorse, is Bring on the Wave. Canadians. Bring on the Wave by Wave Carver out of Special Corona by Corona Cartel, bred in Alberta by Shady Lane Stables, owned by Dale Zukowski, trained by James Doolin, who won 5 of 6 starts last year, including the Jerry Stojan Memorial Futurity and the Alberta Cup Futurity. Got to make sure we get those Canadian fashions on camera here.
Congratulations. One of the things I noticed in looking at your horse's form is the versatility of this horse, running from 300 to 400 yards and winning at those different distances. What can you tell me about this nice individual?
He's always been a special horse. Like you said, he's run different forms. His wins are all on 3 different tracks as well too. So he's just been a very special horse. I don't know what to say. He's one of those things you just dream about. Thank you.
He's just a horse that does everything right. Tons of class about him, and he's been that way since day one. I've never had a problem. He's the kind of horse you just want to be around. He's got that personality. He puts his head out of the stall, and you just want to go pet he's just like, hey, like, come give me some attention. But he's just been great, like one of a kind.
Well, obviously the attention that you gave him was the right kind, and it led you to this stage here tonight. Congratulations.
Bring on the wave. Bring him back for a 3-year-old campaign. Next up, it is the Dam of Distinction, and we will thank Dr. Hurd for his assistance up here. And we have AQHA Second Vice President Stan Weaver. Before we advance to our next division, though, let's recognize the sport's newest Dams of Distinction. The title Dam of Distinction is bestowed on an American Quarter Horse mare that has made extraordinary contributions to the breed. A total of 53 American Quarter Horse mares have received this award as of December 31, 2017. First, let's recognize Jess Sasme, owned by Gary and Max Anderson's Speed LLC of Riverton, Utah. The 2004 daughter of Mr. Jess Perry and out of the Grade 1 winning Corona Cartel mare Sassy Smith was bred in New Mexico by Mike Abraham. Grade 1 placed runner earned more than $100,000 in her racing career. As a broodmare, she has produced 30 foals with 23 starters that have earned nearly $1.4 million. Congratulations to Jess Sasme and Speed LLC. Lance Robinson coming up and accepting the award.
Lance, thank you. These are not easy achievements to acquire, so tell us what this means.
Well, it means a lot. Max and I are really good friends. In fact, we used to own this mare together. Interesting story here. I thought this was the best looking filly I've ever seen in my life. It was a yearling. Jerry Bailey, my thoroughbred partner, I called him at Keeneland, told him about her, and Butch and Matt and I had looked at her, and I said, we got to go find her. So a little putt here for Jaime Gomez. We bought her from him, and Max and I bred the two champions, and Max and his son own her now. But we've only bought 2 mares from Jaime. She's one of them. The other was the mother of Cavia and Corona, so it's pretty good. Pretty good bump for Jaime.
Sounds like Jaime's a good man to do business with. Congratulations.
It's hard to deal with, though.
Oh, he's one tough son of a gun, that Jaime. Well, you didn't work out too bad with the shakeout on that one, Lance. Next, we recognize another Dam of Distinction, and that is Your First Moon, a 1999 gray daughter of champion First Down Dash out of the Beduino mare Moon Horizon. She was bred in California by Vessel Stallion Farm, LLC, and owned by Jimmy Jonathan Maqueda Gomez. Your First Moon was a Grade 1 winner at the Sports Champion 2-year-old and Champion 2-year-old filly in 2001. As a broodmare, she's produced 16 foals with 14 starters that have earned nearly $2.3 million. Please join me in congratulating Your First Moon and Jimmy Jonathan Maqueda Gomez. And with a name like Jimmy Jonathan Maqueda Gomez, that leaves everyone silent here. Congratulations. I don't think we have anybody stepping up to accept the award. So we will handle that off stage after the ceremony. This brings us on to our 3-year-old division here for the AQHA Champions Ceremony. First up is the 3-year-old colt division is DuPonte. Out of Having a Good Time by Ivory James. 4 of 8 this season. 4 trips into the winner's circle. All of them were trial victories. Mr. Apolitical Dash by Mr. Jess Perry, who won the Grade 2 Southern California Derby. Renewed, owned by Colleen Ledgerwood and trained by Roberto Dominguez, second in the PCQHRA Breeders' Derby. So Rapido by Corona Cartel, owned by Rajuan Suarez, Dr. Rajuan Suarez. Stelfast, owned by Eva Carrasco, winner of the El Primero del Año Derby. And the Marfa Lights. 3 trials at Ruidoso and a 4th in the All-American Derby. And the 2017 champion 3-year-old colt is DuPonte. All 4 of the wins were just trial wins, but the money talks. This son of American Runaway out of the Ivory James mare, Having a Good Time, bred in Texas by Bobby Cox, owned by Bobby Cox, Kristen Paredes, and Homero Paredes. Most recent trainer is James Paget II. Earnings of over $274,000 propelled DuPonte into the position of the 3-year-old AQHA champion colt. Everybody get snug up, get tight there. There we go.
If you'll come join me, I'd like to ask a few questions. And there are so many things that we could talk about with these connections, but I've got to narrow it down to just a few. First of all, let's talk a little bit about how you acquired him at Bobby bred him, and you acquired him as a yearling, and then what happened?
Then he went off to win 2 fraternities last year. Bobby bought him back from us, half of them. And then my partner Homer came in also, and we've just had a blessed year. Everybody's been great, and I'd just like to thank the whole team.
The next thing that interests me quite a bit, Kristen, is about you as our next generation of horsemen. You know, your parents have been in the business a long time, and you've kind of grown up from your teen years on up, enjoying it. So what made you stay anchored in as a young woman to be invested in this business?
It's just something I've loved since I was little. I grew up around it, and I just stuck to it. It's just something I've had a passion about my whole life.
Well, my hope is that you're inspiration for all the other young people out there to want to get involved and get their champion colt. Congratulations.
From your lips to God's ears, Janet Van Bever. All right, we'll move on next to the 3-year-old filly division. Contenders for the 3-year-old filly begin with Apolitical Scout, owned by Paragon Farms LLC, who won the Remington Park, Oklahoma Bred Derby. Graceful Eagle, bred in Colorado by Tom Bradbury, second in the Texas Classic Derby. I'm a Cutie Pie, bred in California by Jaime Gomez and owned by Dutch Masters, that's Dutch Masters 3, did win the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Winter Derby. Jessa Painted Wagon by PYC Paint Your Wagon, third in the Rainbow Derby. Keen Liaison by Six's Liaison, who won a pair of stakes races at Indiana Grand. One Sweet Racy, who's owned by Johnny Trotter, second in the All-American Derby. And Running Dragon, bred by JJ LSC, that's the owner, this New Mexico bred, homebred of the Bye JJ Limited Partnership, and a multiple stakes winner in New Mexico. The 2017 champion 3-year-old filly is Running Dragon. Running Dragon by Zulu Dragon out of the Devon Lane Mare Banking Lane, bred in New Mexico by Bye JJ Limited Partnership, owned by Bye JJ. Too many buys, too many JJs. Most recent trainer is Juan Gonzalez, who did win 4 stakes races this year: the Shoe Fly, the New Mexico HBA Stakes, the Sunburst Stakes, and the Grade 1 New Mexico Filly and Mare Championship Stakes. Running Dragon, the 2017 champion 3-year-old filly.
Well, I understand that you're accepting on behalf of a friend, but congratulations on the mare having an outstanding 2-year-old year and then to come back and have an outstanding 3-year-old year. And that's not easy to do with a filly. And I don't know if you want to make any comments on that.
Mr. Beto home raised her. It's a pretty good filly.
Another shout out to the owner breeders this evening. Congratulations.
Congratulations again. Thank you. And we move now to the nominees for the 3-year-old gelding division. Apolitical Chad begins, trained by Wes Giles and winner of the Texas Classic Derby. Shazak, who's trained by Jaime Gomez, who did win the Los Alamitos Super Derby. High Plains Perry, bred in Texas by Johnny Trotter and Burnett Ranches. Hold Air Hostage, son of Apolitical Jess, who won 3 graded derbies. Magical Jess went 2 for 2 in 2017 for a tidy $242,000, winning the Ruidoso Futurity. And Tough to Be by Apolitical Jess, who won the Ruidoso Derby and a couple other nice stakes races as well. The 2017 champion 3-year-old gelding is Hold There Hostage. Hold There Hostage by Apolitical Jess out of Foals Zuki Cookie by Foals Gold. Bred in Oklahoma by Luis Miguel Alvarez Gleason. Owned by Darling Farms, the most recent trainer James Paget II. In 8 starts this year, 6 wins, 3 of them being stakes races. He earned over $1.2 million, and his wins include the Heritage Place Derby, the Rainbow Derby, and the All-American Derby. Congratulations to the connections on stage now of Hold Air Hostage.
This colt had an outstanding year. There's no doubt I say colt gelding. What can you tell me about that?
This horse is just amazing. I mean, he's a pure freak runner. I mean, plain and simple. It's probably one of the best horses that's ever been around, and Dan deserves everything that's come to him, and it's a pleasure to be around the horse.
Derby, I expect to be talking to you up here one of these days, and you'll be our next generation of horsemen. So congratulations.
Congratulations to the connections of Hold Air Hostage. We move now to the Supreme Racehorse recognition, and a runner that earns the title of AQHA Supreme Racehorse is certainly rare. Prior to 2017, a total of 110 horses have earned this distinction, the first dating back to 1974. Tonight, we recognize one more. An AQHA Supreme Racehorse has earned $500,000 or more, 2 open Grade 1 stakes victories, and 10 wins overall. Supreme Racehorses receive a specially designed bronze, and the accomplishment appears on the horse's records. Each bronze is sent to the owner shortly after they achieve this honor. Joining this elite group is Bodacious Eagle. Bodacious Eagle is owned by AQHA past president Johnny Trotter, and the 5-year-old gelding is by one famous eagle out of the Corona Cartel mare In Bodacious Dream, a daughter of American Quarter Horse Hall of Famer Dashing Phoebe. Bodacious Eagle was bred by La Feliz Montaña Ranch of North Las Vegas, Nevada. The sorrel gelding finished the necessary criteria to earn the award going back to April of 2017 when he notched his 10th career victory in the Grade 1 Leo Stakes at Remington Park just across town. As of December 31st, 2017, Bodacious Eagle has earned more than $850,000. Johnny Trotter not here this evening, but Ben Hudson, editor and all-around nice guy of the Track magazine, on hand to receive the award. Thanks, Ben.
Ben, thank you not only for everything you do for our industry, but for being on hand to accept this award for the Trotters. What can you say?
Well, I've been around Johnny about as much as anybody, I guess, for the last 15 years or so, and he bought this horse as an embryo right here at Heritage Place several years ago for $8,000. I think it's turned about to be another good horse investment for Johnny. Johnny's had many, many good runners over the last 15, 18 years, and he's got his favorites, and he talks about them quite a bit. He's talked about this horse about as much as anybody. I think this horse will be one of the next $1 million winners in the AQHA deal as we get closer and closer to having 100 millionaires, and I believe he'll be one that'll join the crowd this year. Johnny's very happy and very pleased to get this award. Johnny and Jana both. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. And that's a prediction. You heard it here first.
Well, I hope it's a promise, and that would mean we'll see Bodacious Eagle back at Remington Park to win that Leo, or at least have at it among some other top-flight older horses at Remington this spring. We move on now to recognize the champion aged stallion, and first up is Chicks Love Curls, bred in Oklahoma by Watona Stanley, owned by Carlos Diaz de Leon Velasquez. Next up, Just Being the Hero by Valiant Hero, a 5-time Louisiana Stakes winner in 2017. Mr. PYCTU, bred in Oklahoma, bred by the Mixer Ranch and owned by Van Amberg and Flores. You did win the Grade 1 Champion of Champions. TF I'm That Guy, owned by Victor Diaz, winner of the Grade 1 Championship at Sunland. The Fiscal Cliff, bred in Iowa by Tom Lepick and a 4-time stakes winner in 2017. And the 2017 champion age stallion is the Fiscal Cliff. He just keeps coming back for more, does the Fiscal Cliff, by PYC Paint Your Wagon, out of Sign Zoomer by Shazoom, bred in Iowa by the aforementioned Tom Lepick, and a Gordon Crone winner at that, owned by the Whitmire Ranch, trained by Casey Willis. He won 4 of 9 this year, earnings of over $273,000. He won the Bob Moore, the Skip Zimmerman, the Canterbury Challenge Championship, and then went on to win the AQHA Challenge Championship. The connections of the Fiscal Cliff gathering up here on stage now.
Congratulations, and I'm glad to see we have all the connections here. This is a fairly new entry for you into the racehorse business. I know that I've been seeing you in other disciplines over the years, both with the cutting horses and the barrel horses, and now we're excited to see you join our discipline. So what's it like to buy this horse and then get to come up here on this stage and accept the champion award?
We're just honored to own him. He's a wonderful horse. Casey can tell you more about him. He's smart. He's the way he's balanced is perfect. I think he'll work well even on our performance mares, probably. But we're just honored to own him, and we appreciate Mr. Lepick allowing us that opportunity.
Tom, would you like to say a quick word?
Well, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to train a lot of really good horses. I mean, he's by far the best, and he proves it pretty much every time he goes over there. I mean, I'm just glad to have him, glad to keep him in the barn for next year also.
Thank you, everybody. Congratulations.
All right, so the Fiscal Cliff and Bodacious Eagle are going to throw it down coming up this spring at Remington, it sounds like. Good news. Now to present the ballot for champion aged mare. First up, Carson City Girl. Carson City Girl, owned by David and Sandra Barrett, who did win the first Moon Flash at Albuquerque. Just Good Reason, bred in Oklahoma by Preston and Karen Cloud, who did win the Grade 1 Charger Bar at Los Salamitos. Just Paint Your Lips, a homebred of Michael Pohl. Princess Jessie, bred in New Mexico by Vance Mickelson, owned by Mickelson Racing and trained by Vance Mickelson. Time for Jess, owned by Spackman Racing, winner of the Millie Vessels and the Los Alamitos Distaff Challenge. And Time for Wine, owned by Pete Scaramato, and the most recent trainer in Charlton Hunt. And the 2017 AQHA Champion Age Mare is Just Good Reason. Just Good Reason by Good Reason SA. Out of Just Call Me Tying by Feature Mr. Jess, bred in Oklahoma by Preston and Karen Cloud, owned by Cena and John Sperry. Paul Jones, the trainer, winner of 2 of 6 this year. Earnings of over $137,000, won the Charger Bar, Z. Wayne Griffin, and was second in the Millie Vessels. Just Good Reasons, connections on stage now.
Congratulations. My first question is, I remember back early in this mare's career, you had to exercise patience with her, if I remember correctly. So tell us about that and how that patience has now, a couple of years later, rewarded you.
Yeah, this mare, early on in her career, she was a real challenge in the starting gates. She always wanted to throw a little fit in there. We knew she had a lot of talent if we could just get her to do things right, and luckily we did.
Tell us the rest of the story. I know that the connections have been important to you and your stable.
Well, Mr. Sperry owned the horse. He's one of my long time owners, maybe one of my first owners. He passed away this year, and we'll really miss him. We're glad we can get a world champion for him.
I think this is a wonderful tribute to a man who was devoted to our business for a very long time.
I'm Mark Rigby. I'm accepting this award on behalf of Tom and Melanie Leeper of Paragon Farms. We were fortunate to be able to purchase this mare late in her career. And even though we hope to be up here someday again with her as a Broodmare Distinction Award, this needs to go back to California to the Sperry family with our thanks and our condolences.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Paul. One more category before we wrap up the 3-year-old division, and that is the nominees for the aged gelding. And up first is B.H. Lisa's Boy, bred in Idaho by Bill Holberg, trained by Bill Holberg. This Bill Holberg homebred won 6 of 7 starts last year. Bodacious Eagle, winner of the Leo, the East Tex at Remington Park, and the Grade 3 High Easter Jet at Ruidoso. Cobalt Creek by Walk Through Fire, trained by John Steinbaugh. He's a Dash of Fire, bred in Washington by S.K. LLC, and the homebred for S.K. Jose Flores is the trainer. Jesse's First Down, bred in Texas by Ted Abrams, homebred of Ted Abrams, last year's AQHA World Champion. Play Misty for Me, bred in New Mexico by MJ Farms and owned by Robert Smith. Zoomin' Effortlessly, who defeated Jesse's First Down in an epic Grade 1 tussle in the Remington Park Invitational Championship. And the 2017 champion aged gelding is Jesse's First Down. Jesse's First Down by FDD Dynasty out of Jessa Classy Lassie by Mr. Jess Perry, bred in Texas by Ted Abrams, owned by Ted Abrams. Most recent trainer is James Paget II. He went 5 of 7 this past calendar year, earning over $468,000, including wins in the Sam Houston Championship, the All-American Gold Cup, the Downs at Albuquerque Fall Championship, and the championship at Sunland. Here they are again, Jesse's First Down.
Congratulations. I know it's tough to have back-to-back champion honors. Tell us what that means to you.
It means a lot. This is a lunch pail horse. He just gets up every day and goes to work, does his job, and it's worked out very well for us. And I can't thank Rodrigo and Jimmy and all the connections, Judd and everybody that's made this horse a success.
Well, and again, we have a situation with an owner breeder, and I just love to see that for our industry. I think that instills hope for everybody out there that owns a broodmare or wants to buy one at the sale this weekend. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Good incentive to keep them around for another racing year as well. Time to move on to the champion breeder. We thank AQHA Second Vice President Stan Weaver for helping us with the presentations. We move on to our next awards, and we invite the AQHA Executive Committee member Butch Wise to the stage. As with our equine champions, the AQHA Champion Breeder, Owner, Trainer, and Jockey Awards are determined by a written ballot of the Champions Selection Subcommittee. The ballot consists of the top-ranked individuals with the best overall placing according to money earned, races won, and their graded stakes performance. Let's now have a look at the ballot for the 2017 AQHA Champion Breeder. And we'll begin with Mike Abraham, who had 42 wins and 42 seconds, earning over $1.1 million. Dr. Edward C. Allred with 131 wins in 2017 and 10 stakes wins. Dr. Steve Burns, earnings of $1.6 million for his runners. Bobby Cox, whose runners went to the winner's circle 133 times, 13 times for a stakes win. Cuadra La Presita, who did have 4 stakes wins in 2017. Luis Miguel Albores Gleason, who had a 38% win rate with 25 wins of 65 starters. Grant Farms of Pineville, Louisiana, 40 wins, 38 seconds, and 39 thirds. Jaime Gomez with an 18% win rate, but with 159 starters. Juliana Hahn Holt, 102 starters and 15 wins from that batch. Juan Medina, who did have 12 wins of 22 starters with a remarkable 54% win rate. MJ Farms, earnings of over $2.3 million. Witona Stanley runners earned 11 trips to the winner's circle for stakes wins. Witona Stanley and W.E. Smith had 37 winners in 2017. And Mimi Wells with some solid numbers here, 218 starters, 36 wins, 34 seconds, and 33 thirds with a 17% win rate with over 200 starters. Well done there. AQHA's Racing 2017 champion breeder is Bobby Cox. And there's a look at the smiling Bobby Cox on screen. We'll see him on stage here in just a bit. In 2017, DuPonte and Shazak led the way for a total of 13 stakes wins and 133 overall winners for Bobby Cox. His 2017 earnings of over $3.4 million as a leader. Bobby Cox receives his second consecutive AQHA Champion Breeder Award.
Well, welcome back to the stage for the second year, and you have joined in you your grandson and your general manager and Bill Melson, and congratulations to the team. But tell me what this means to you. I know over the years you've devoted a considerable amount of your interest and your resources and dedication, and now you're awarded with this prestigious achievement.
Well, it's one of the greatest awards I've ever won, and to win it twice is just great. So I know I have a long way to catch up with some other people, but we're doing our best. And I'd just like to thank my team, and Bill is the leader of our team. I also want to thank Leslie and Mike Turner for getting those mares in foal and for doing a great job raising our yearlings.
And tell me what your interests are in the business for your future.
Well, I hadn't been real involved with the racing business for very long, but since I've been here, I've been able to tell one thing, and that is that my granddaddy breeds the greatest racehorses in the world. So I'm just real proud of him, and I'm proud of that.
You're right about that. Congratulations.
You might consider following in his footsteps there, Junior. Next award for the evening is the AQHA Champion Owner, and the nominees are as follows. Ed Allred, Dr. Ed Allred with 45 winners. Bella Vista Farms of Arcola, Illinois with 22 winners of 141 starters. Dr. Steve Burns, 3 stakes wins and 26 wins overall. Darling Farms, 20 wins, 20 seconds, and 20 thirds for earnings of over $1.4 million. Ralph Carolyn Fales, 24 wins from 89 starters. The Fly Baby Fly Partnership had just 1 stakes win. That was the All-American Futurity. Luis Miguel Alboris Gleason, 23 winners of 59 starters. Rogelio Marquez Jr., 32 wins and earnings of over $1.1 million. Juan Medina won 11 races from just 16 starters. Melvin Neugebauer, 10 winners from 34 starters. Paragon Farms, who did win 30 races of 92 starters, and they earned over $1 million. Reliance Ranches, 114 starts, 14 wins for Reliance Ranches. Pete Scarmardo, 25 wins of 140 starts, 25 seconds as well for Pete. Terry and Irene Stennett, who did have 25 wins, 20 seconds, and 20 thirds. And Christine Tavares from Enniskillen, Ontario, 21 winners in Canada this past year. And AQHA Racing's 2017 champion owner is Darling Farms. Darling Farms put up big numbers and won big races. They won the Heritage Place Derby here at Remington, affording Dan Darling to put up the $50,000 supplement to go on and win the All-American Derby, and then pay for the shipping to Los Alamitos to win the Los Alamitos Million Futurity. Nice money management there, Dan Darling. know. Darby, are you going to start things off by some words?
Darby, this is pretty special times. Tell me what it means to you.
We've had great horses, and it's fun to come to the races and watch.
Yay!
One of the things that impressed me the most is you're relatively new to our business, and yet you have invested and committed, and you take your horses to various jurisdictions and really support racing all over the country. What can you tell us about your program?
We've just been blessed. I mean, so lucky. I've told my kids the only way we can go down from here. I mean, this has been just an incredible year, and I want to thank Amy and Jimmy and Rodrigo and Jose and Barry and Becky that take care of the farm. And I mean, it's just a team, and we're lucky as hell.
Congratulations. Thank you, Derby.
Each year, AQHA recognizes one of the best trainers with an award named after one of the best. The contenders for the title of Blaine Schwanevelt Champion Trainer are, from Blaine Schwanevelt's turf, Monte Arosa from Jerome, Idaho, who won 48 races this year. Leon Bard from Wheelock, Texas, 56 wins and earnings of over $1.1 million. Clint Crawford had 65 winners and earnings of over $1.5 million. Jose Flores, 48 winners, $1.2 million in earnings. Wes Giles, 54 winners and earnings of over $2.3 million. Jaime Gomez, trained the winner of the Deuce, 38 wins for him and earnings of over $2.8 million. Eusebio Huitron had 55 winners. 14-time Blaine Schwanevelt champion trainer Paul Jones, 96 wins in 2017. Lanny Keith, 48 winners. Jason Olmstead had 48 winners, 52nd thirds and 52nd seconds and 64 thirds. Jimmy Paget, 23 winners of 128 starters and earnings of $2.9 million. Kenny Roberts led the nation with 116 wins and over $2.8 million. John Weghorst, 32 winners and 10 of them stakes winners. Eddie Willis, 50 winners of 351 starters and earnings of over $1 million. And finally, Valentin Zamudio, who had 55 winners and 5 of them were stakes winners. And AQHA Racing's 2017 Blaine Schwanevelt Champion Trainer, well, he's won it for himself, but he's pretty much won it for an entire region from where he lives. Born in Lafayette, went to Kashmere High School in Houston, Kenny Roberts. Aye! Kenny, 116 wins of 472 starters. That's a 25% win rate. He won the LQHBA $1 million for charity with You Drive, I Fly. Congratulations, Kenny Roberts.
Congratulations, Kenny. You know, a lot of people want to think of you as a Louisiana trainer, but you lived in Texas for many years, and I first met you at Los Alamitos when you were out there with Royal Bushwhacker in the 80s. So you have been in all jurisdictions over several decades. Tell us about your program and what led to the success this year.
It's really hard to really start somewhere, but I'm blessed by the good Lord that got me this far. And my owners, my crew, and my family, and my riders. And it's an honor for me to be here tonight and to receive this. It means a lot to me for all these years. And that's all I can say right now.
Congratulations.
We can see it means a lot to you, Kenny. It means a lot to us. The next category is the champion jockey. I've got a little post-it note I stuck here for champion jockey. Let's see. In 2015, a guy by the name of G.R. Carter announced that he was going to retire in 2016. Now, He earned $400,000 that year he retired, and since then I think the total is $2.2 million. GR, I don't know if you're here, but you've got a hell of a retirement program going on there. Jeez. All right, GR. First on the ballot for the champion jockey is David Alvarez, who had a hell of a year as well. He earned over $2.8 million, did his mounts, with 5 stakes wins. Jose Alvarez won the Heritage Place Futurity and the All-American Futurity, and his mounts earned over $1.2 million. Jesus Ayala, 13 stakes wins and earnings of over $1.8 million. The GR, which stands for Get Rich Carter Jr., and don't stop, evidently, $1.8 million for GR with 38 winners. Francisco Calderon had 12 stakes winners, earnings of over $1.5 million. Cesar de Alba, 15 stakes winners and earnings of over $1.5 million. Mario Delgado, 88 winners this season. He had a good meet there at Remington, $1.1 million in earnings. James Flores had an outstanding meet at Remington, and he earned 17 stakes winners throughout the year last year. His mounts earned over $1.8 million. Manuel Gutierrez, 44 winners, $1.8 million as well. John Hamilton, he's the Energizer Bunny, he just won't quit. 96 winners for John and earnings of over $1.2 million. Cody Jensen, 5 stakes winners, yet he still earned over $1.8 million, did his mounts, and it's $1.8 million for Damian Martinez, who rode 124 winners, did Damian Martinez in 2017. Jose Nicasio won the Deuce. He had just 4 stakes wins, but that Deuce helped out to put his earnings to over $1.9 million. Ricky Ramirez had 113 winners last year, 14 of them stakes winners, and earnings of over $2.5 million. Everardo Rodriguez, 90 winners and earnings of just over $1 million. Daniel Torres, he had 80 winners and 1.4 in earnings. And Rodrigo Vallejo had 16 stakes winners, and his mounts earned him they earned collectively over $3.2 million. The last shall be first. Rodrigo Vallejo, AQHA's Racing 2017 champion. Again, big numbers there. He did win 71 races, but 16 of them were stakes wins, and his mounts earned over $3.2 million. Rodrigo Vallejo from Jalisco, Mexico, stepping up to the stage. Felicidades.
Congratulations. You led the nation in earnings. You were ahead of the second contender by $360,000. Tell us about your success this year.
He thanks to God in first place and all the team and all the trainer, owners, and Jimmy and all the team. A special thanks to all of you.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
Y los caballos también, see? He doubled what he earned last year. $1.6 million for Rodrigo Vallejo and $3.2 this year. Each year, AQHA offers the Champions Selection Committee the opportunity to recognize members who they feel deserve special accolades. This year, the committee honors 2 individuals with Breeder Special Recognition Awards. Our first Breeder Special Recognition Award goes to MJ Farms of Veguita, New Mexico. Last year, MJ Farms bred 39 winners from 98 starters that earned more than $2.3 million. Those winners include stakes winners Carson City Girl, Play Misty For Me, Daddy's Blushing, Big Daddy, and Jesse Lane. The second award is awarded to 40-year breeder Juliana Hahn Holt of Blanco, Texas. In the past year, Juliana bred All-American Futurity winner Fly Baby Fly. During the year, she bred 10 winners from 26 starters that earned more than $1.7 million. Now, Juliana couldn't be here, but via email, she did send a message that she wanted me to read, and I'll do that right now. According to, these are Juliana's words. I so regret that I'm unable to attend. I find this extremely flattering and a true honor to be recognized by horsemen and horsewomen who I admire. I want to thank you for helping me along the way. I've learned a lot from you and hope to continue learning from you. I also thank God for the great horsemen Benny Greathouse, Velda Riedel, and all the top hands that work with me at the Cross Triangle Ranch, without whom this would not be possible. I will treasure this award and hope to be back with you soon. Until then, happy trails. Well, thank you, Juliana, for the message, and congratulations to you as well. Ben Hudson with Janet right now.
Ben, thank you for accepting the award on behalf of Mac and Janice. What would you like to say?
First of all, I'd like to congratulate the Hahn Holt Ranch on their great breeding program, and they are amazing, as is MJ Farms of New Mexico. I've been following them since we started in business in 1975 when they were doing their deal in Utah, and they have now been the major breeder in New Mexico for several years, working with what I think is a small band of mares and just doing a tremendous job. They're right there at the top every year, and they just really do a great job. And I've had the pleasure of doing their ads since 1975, and I know how hard they work at it, and it's a pleasure to work with them and to see them as longtime breeders get this award. And for them to be number 2 is to guys like Bobby Cox that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Their horses are right there every year. Thank you.
Thank you so much for representing them.
Thank you, Ben. At this time, we'll recognize the new world record holder. On the previous 220-yard world record of 11.493 was held by Travel Plan, which was set at Los Alamitos back in 2009. On July 8th of last year, 2017, Ana Lilia Alvarez's Magic Black Jack lowered the world record when the 4-year-old black gelding raced 220 yards in a time of 11 and 466 1/1000ths. The race was the $50,000 Flying Breed Stakes at Delta Downs and earned him a speed index of a 118. Magic Black Jack by Jet Black Patriot and out of the Stoli Alley Cat is trained by Martin Tijo and was ridden by Everardo Rodriguez. The gelding was bred by Willie Sallard of Alexandria, Louisiana. Willie was very proud of Magic Black Jack's achievement. Sadly, Willie passed away on December 29th. Tonight, Willie's son Bruce is with us on behalf of his father to honor his amazing and amazingly fast American Quarter Horses accomplishment. Congratulations and connections of Magic Black Jack.
Bruce, thank you for coming and accepting this award on behalf of your late dad. And I know that he was a small breeder and how much pride he took in this award. So why don't you share some of that with us?
My dad bred horses for over 50 years, and this was the very last horse he registered with the AQHA. So I just thank God for this very special memory tonight that I get to share with him one last time. He passed away just a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you, Bruce, for making the trip, and congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to thank Martin Trejo and Eduardo Rodriguez for the fine team they did this year with Magic Black Jack. Thank you.
Our next recognition is one of the 3 this evening that are not determined by earnings or wins or points, but rather by simple hard work on behalf of the American quarter horse racing industry. The Millie Vessel Special Achievement Award recognizes an outstanding woman for her contributions to the American quarter horse industry in the last year. Millie Vessels was a longtime horseman whose father-in-law established Los Alamitos Racecourse in his Southern California ranch. She managed the track in its early days and later concentrated on her own Vessels Stallion Farm in Bonsall. This year, the AQHA Racing Committee has selected New Mexico horseman and veterinarian Dr. Janice Spencer Murray. Dr. Murray is part of the legendary breeding operation of MJ Farms, one of the top 10 all-time breeders by money earned. Her nominator said Janice has an outstanding quarter horse breeding operation. She also helps educate people on equine reproduction to help keep the quarter horse racing industry alive. Please help me in congratulating our 2017 Millie Ann Vessel Special Achievement Award recipient, and that's Dr. Janice Murray. She was lamenting they've come to the awards and the sale for the last 20 years, and the one year that they don't come, she wins the Millie Vessels. So Janice will raise a toast of Astica or Alice K. White or Kendall Jackson or Champagne Lane or whatever to do. Congratulations again, Janice and Mac. Next up is the Gordon Crone Special Achievement Award. Oh, incidentally, we want to thank Butch for helping out. We get our AQHA President, Ralph Seekins, now to help out with the presentation. Each year, AQHA presents the Gordon Crone Special Achievement Award to a man who worked tirelessly in the past year to advance the sport of quarter horse racing. Gordon Crone himself was a longtime racing horseman from Kansas who worked to promote the industry in his home state and across the country. This award was first presented in his name back in 1994. The association accepts nominations for this award near the end of each calendar year, so do know that if you feel someone is deserving of either the Millie Vessels or the Gordon Crone, contact an AQHA racing representative and nominate that individual. The AQHA Racing Committee then does determine the winner. This year, the committee has decided to recognize two men for this award. The recipients for the 2017 Gordon Crone Special Achievement Award are Paul Blanchard and Scott Wells. Here's a look at Paul. He's the owner of Albuquerque Downs and is recognized for his leadership. Scott Wells, of course, is the president and GM of Remington Park and Lone Star and is honored for his contributions. Their nominator stated each of these racetracks took a highly visible stand against racing on prohibited drugs. Both of these tracks, under the leadership of these two gentlemen, exemplified the goal of the AQHA to provide the highest caliber of stakes racing opportunities free from the influence of prohibited medications. Thank you, you two gentlemen. Paul and Scott, I'm sure Janet would like to visit with you.
Paul, let's go first. We know it's not easy to own and run a racetrack, and sometimes you take a stand that is not always met with everyone's approval, and so our racing committee has chosen to applaud you for those efforts. What else can you say about that?
Well, that it is difficult to run a racetrack in today's world. Our objective is to get fans into the grandstand, and we must clean this sport up. We must make sure that we're drug testing as best we can so that we can give the betting public the feeling of security when they go to the window. So that's what we're trying to do. New Mexico is dedicated to AQHA quarter horse racing, and we're going to continue at Albuquerque to promote it and continue to try to drive it.
We applaud you for your efforts. Scott? Scott, you're currently in a racetrack management position, but you're a several generation horseman, and you've seen a lot of things evolve through our business. Again, you're recognized, just like Paul, for the stance that you have encouraged Remington Park to take. What can you tell us more about that?
Well, we have great partners in the Oklahoma Horsemen, particularly through the Oklahoma Quarter Horse Racing Association. And I want to thank the AQHA, American Quarter Horse Association, for this tremendous honor. So many of my friends and mentors have won it in the past, and I've watched from the seats and admired them, and this is a very humbling honor for me. Paul's words were right on target, and we all have the same goal in mind, and that is to have a level playing field, a fair chance for everyone, and we want to see the best horse win the race. And I tell you, I was visiting with some old friends here earlier this evening, and we've come a long, long ways. And we'll never reach the finish line because There's always going to be an attempt, just like the Olympics or any other competitive sport, there's always going to be an attempt to take an edge. But we're doing really, really well, and I congratulate and thank my partners in the horse industry for taking such a strong stance. And I just have to say, that I am so appreciative of the support of Global Gaming Solutions that owns both Remington and Lone Star for their support in our pushing forward and joining with our partners and trying to get a level playing field. And I think we've seen some tremendous stories here this evening. My goodness, it's moving to think through the people that have come up here and the individual stories in this great sport. So, carry on, onward and upward.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you both, Paul and Scott. And of course, you owners and trainers have a role in this, following the rules as well. So do your part, please. All right, next up, the Racing Council Award. Before we announce this year's divisional champions and AQHA World Champion Racehorse, we want to present our final Individual Achievement Award, and that is the AQHA Racing Council Special Recognition Award. This honors a lifetime of service and dedication to the development, promotion, and enhancement of American quarter horse racing. Nominations are submitted by members of the AQHA Racing Committee and Racing Council, with the winner determined by a vote of the Council. This year, we honored 2 recipients of the 2017 AQHA Racing Council Special Achievement Award, and those 2 are Laura Joyner and Mindy MacArthur. Laura and Mindy have teamed up to lift up the Sam Thompson Memorial Foundation, established after the extremely likable jockey was killed in a race riding accident back in 2008. Together, they spearheaded the efforts of the foundation, which gives assistance to disabled jockeys and also offers a scholarship to youth in the racing industry. Earlier this year, the foundation gave out $38,000 to youths, all of whom have family involved in the racing industry. Please join me in congratulating our 2017 AQHA Special Recognition Award recipients, Laura Joyner and Mindy MacArthur. Well, while we don't see you 2 up here on stage, obviously your efforts have been recognized. That $38,000 back to the racetrack industry families is huge. We appreciate that. Three horses each year are eligible to be voted for the World Champion Racing American Quarter Horse, and they include the Champion 2-year-old, the Champion 3-year-old, and the Champion Aged Horse. Before we crown the World Champion, let's first meet our division winners. This evening, we awarded championships to 3 deserving freshmen who combined to earn more than $2.6 million on the track. They include Champion Colt, KVN Corona, Champion Filly, J Fire Up, and Champion Gelding, Eagle Jazz. Now please join me in congratulating the 2017 Champion 2-year-old. It says here, dramatic page turn. Oh, wait, that wasn't dramatic, that was something else. Anyway, J Fire Up is the winner. Owned by Darling Farms, Jaime Gomez and Ernesto Solis, and bred and trained, of course, by Jaime Gomez. Congratulations to J Fire Up, the 2017 AQHA Champion 2-year-old. Craig Huffines has joined us as well. And as we announce these 3 champions, we do ask that you move to the stage, and we will, of course, announce the world champion once everyone is in position. So next up is our 3-year-old champion. This year, the 3-year-olds provided some historic performances around the country. Our champions include Colt DuPonte, the Filly Running Dragon, and the Gelding Hold Air Hostage. Our 3-year-old champion is Hold Air Hostage. Don't go far. Owned by Darling Farms and bred by Luis Miguel Alboris Gleason, and most recently trained by Jimmy Paget. And the last division award of the evening is Aged Champion. All three champions showed incredible consistency in their performances with 10 stakes victories in the 22 starts between them. They include Champion Stallion, the Fiscal Cliff, the mare Jess Good Reason, and the gelding Jesse's First Down. The 2017 Aged Champion is Jesse's First Down, owned and bred by Ted Abrams, and again, most recently trained by Jimmy Paget. So we're going to have the 2-year-olds, the 3-year-old. Actually, we're going to have 2-year-old here, and we know that the 3-year-old have one group of the 2-year-olds of your delegation. Jaime, you here with the 2-year-old. Dan, you stay here in the middle, and Teddy and your crew come over here by Janet. How about that? Are you ready? You guys go down there by Janet, the Jesse's First Down crew. Ted, down there on Janet's side, please. Nobody wants to listen to the MC. Hey, everybody, where should Teddy and his group go? What part of the stage? Thank you. No, I'll just step back here. Well, they sure look pretty.
That's what happens when you're upstage for the president.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, everybody's up here. Let's not waste any more time. AQHA 2017 World Champion Racing American Quarter Horse. He gets to keep his crown. Jesse's First Down. Please move to any part of the stage you would like. Congratulations, Ted. Congratulations to the 2-year-old divisional winners and the 3-year-old, of course. Now, I hope I haven't bungled the photo here with my urgency to get Ted on the microphone.
What an amazing horse. I happen to know that this hasn't happened where we've had a consecutive world champion since 2001. So it's a pretty special deal. What can you share with us?
He's an amazing horse. This year was a lot of highs and lows this year. It reminded me of one time I was at DeLazy many years ago for the Timed Event Championship, and Paul Tierney had 30-something seconds to tie his last steer down, and he missed with the first loop, and he would come back and tied him with the second loop. And Clement Spadden was the announcer that year, and Clem comes up to Paul and says, "Paul, what do you think when that first loop rolled off?" And Paul said, "I thought, oh, and that's what I thought when those gates opened in Sunland this year too, but it turned out to be really a blessing. So thank everyone concerned, Judd, Rodrigo, Jimmy, Javier back in the barn, Capitan the Rooster. Everybody's had a lot to do with this year. So we appreciate the AQHA support. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And once again, the 2017 AQHA World Racing Champion.